Welcome people, here we go for today's daily match, and well, I feel like a bit of a stalker on these two players because I've been following these matches for so long now, and I actually watched this match live on live stream. I think it was last weekend. As you guys can see the players there, you have the blue Terran here, SeleCT, and the red Zerg DIMAGA. And the previous match I uploaded from this guys was from the Craft Cup. I actually said it was from the quarterfinals, but it wasn't from the semifinals. And this match, they actually face off again. This was played on the last weekend, like I was just mentioning, and it's from the ZOTAC Cup, and this is the finals. This was a best out of 5, but well, I'm sorry to say, but I'm not gonna upload 5 matches with the same players over and over again. I feel like it's a bit tiresome, and also what usually happens on best out of 5 and best out of 7 is that you get like 1 or 2 really good matches, and then you get like 3 where you just rush and cheese and the game takes like 6 minutes and you just fall asleep because it's boring. So I'm just gonna skip that, and I'm gonna focus on this, which is gonna be the last match from the best out of 5. I'm gonna spoil it for whoever wants to watch the 5 games. I'm sorry, so just mute me for the next 30 seconds or something like that if you don't want to hear it. Here we go. This is the last match. They were tied 2-2, so whoever wins this match takes the ZOTAC Cup and wins the $100. I think it was $100 or 100 euros. It was something like that. And let's see what comes out of here. For now, as you guys can see, SeleCT is going for a fairly early gas. I'm not sure exactly what he's intending on doing, and he's getting his barracks, preparing his wall off. Meanwhile, DIMAGA doesn't seem like he's considering going for any kind of quick hatch, at least not for now. He still might get one, but it's not going to be the fastest one ever. He's still going for the spawning pool and already has the extractor up, so he might be going for some fast Zergling speed, considering maybe some kind of early pressure onto SeleCT. Here comes the spawning pool right on time. Look at that precision. The second he had the 100 gas, and instantly got the metabolic boost, the Zergling speed, and getting 2 Zerglings out, so I think he might be considering that. Meanwhile, on SeleCT side, he already has the gas. He's gathering some gas as well. The orbital command is already pumping, and seems like he's finishing his wall off. So racks into factory, fairly standard stuff, not much going on here. And SeleCT sending his SCV to do some scouting, but these 2 Zerglings will be able to poke at him. Yeah, there it is. He won't be able to scout much, you see. Actually, there's not that much to scout, except for this hatchery that DIMAGA finally picked up. It's not the fastest ever, but still a quick expo. And, well, it's kind of dangerous to hold off to this place. You guys see how open this is. Not a very easy place to defend, but DIMAGA has to risk it, I guess, because you know how Zerg economy works, and he will need that expo to actually be able to balance his mid and late game. Almost like, what, half? Yeah, hatchery going into half. Meanwhile, on SeleCT side, he actually finished his wall off and now switching his building, so gonna attach the tech lab into this factory. What is he gonna build out of here? We've been seeing a lot on the ZVT matches lately. Yeah, there it is. A lot of factories, usually with the reactor attached, and they just get 2 Hellions out of the factory at once to make some early pressure into the Zerg player. But seems like that SeleCT is going a different way. He's getting the Infernal Pre-Igniter first, and then he might find out that he needs some kind of reactor and mass some Hellions. I do know one thing. If he's going... Oh, he just cancelled it. Wait, he changed his mind. Okay, just got transitioned instantly from that Hellion. At least I was considering it would be a mass Hellion with Infernal Pre-Igniter into siege tanks with already siege tech. He might be trying to fool or deceive DIMAGA into going into some kind of build that he won't be able to handle when the siege tanks start popping out of that factory. Not sure if it's gonna work or not, but DIMAGA is getting roaches, and roaches against siege tanks are not the best thing. That splash damage from the siege tanks is quite nasty. DIMAGA already getting some defenses up on this natural expo. I think it's the best thing he has to do, to be honest, because if SeleCT decides to make a push right now, it will be really hard for him to hold on to that that natural expo of his, but he already has the queen there and the spine crawler going up. Meanwhile, seems like that Select is not even considering going into any 1-1-1 opening. He's actually getting the reactor here, and he does have the tech lab, so he can start switching buildings if he feels like producing more of one kind of unit, and getting the command center here while shooting at the debris, so he's gonna get a backdoor expansion here. Usually this map has some concerns for the Zerg player because it's kinda hard to defend if you decide to go and expand here. That's why Zerg players tend to go and expand into this natural expo, even with all this open space to defend. Tends to be easier than getting some wall, some edge abuse here, just cliff abusing the Terran with Reapers or drops on the back. So they just tend to go here for the natural expo, and that's what's happening with DIMAGA. Obviously, we already noticed it. Meanwhile, Select only did those two Hellions. They've been wandering around while DIMAGA is approaching from north, and already has this one on the south side for a long time. And Select seems to be massing some, let me look what is on his army count. Yeah, 2 siege tanks and some marines. There's not much of an army going on for now. He's just trying to get rid of the debris and install his second base, his first expo, so he can balance the income, because as you guys can see at the moment, it's still quite balanced, but it's all based on the mules that Select is able to pump out on this mineral line. And now probably Select will start going skyrocketing on his economy. While he keeps control of the Xel'Naga watchtower, it gives him a bit of map control, and seems like that DIMAGA is actually risking getting his third base, his second expo, here on this backdoor expo, which is fairly dangerous. He's going to be needing to be aware of this edge here. This ledge usually tends to be abused by Terran players, and not going to be easy to defend it. But meanwhile, what else is on the production tab? Let me look. Already Thor's incoming for Select, so he seems to be going into some kind of mech build. He does have some marines, but I think it might be only for early game purposes. He was just hoping to get some defenses in case DIMAGA decided to go for some kind of early push. But that's basically it. And meanwhile, DIMAGA is getting creep here. One idea could be placing a spine crawler here and just poke, but I'm not sure if he's thinking about that. He is pooping the creep here, but still nothing coming out of here. And here comes trying to gain control of the Xel'Naga watchtower, shoving away these two Hellions. Yeah, they're just going away back to their natural expo, and hopefully these Zerglings will pull back. Yeah, the door is completely locked and there's enough defenses here. Those Zerglings would just be completely incinerated. But he did won the Xel'Naga watchtower, and the map control is slowly changing onto DIMAGA's favor. Meanwhile, he's spreading his overlords all around this east side of the map. I'm not sure exactly if he's trying to position them in some way to get some benefit, or probably try to advance this way with his bases. But for now, there's not much going on. DIMAGA still macroing. He's going for a heavy macro game at the moment. As you guys can see, already another hatchery going down, which is the one here on the backdoor expo, and getting an infestation pit. So we might be seeing some infestors soon enough. Infestors are very useful. Already banelings getting ready as well, and like I was saying, infestors are very useful against Marine Marauder balls. Also to hold the units in place while they get shot. It doesn't allow for much of a kiting, you know what I mean? Like when you start macroing back your units and you actually can get a proper surround, the Zerg units get a nice benefit from having a nice surround. So it's a way of holding the units while they get surrounded, or for example to shoot some air units like Vikings and Medevacs. So it is a good option, especially because both players seem to be committed to quite a big macro game, and well, this probably will indicate we're going to see air units pretty soon and mass armies clashing, and might be a good option to have a way of defending against any kind of air assault, or else you're going to be stuck and just going to get your game completely wasted. What else is going on here? Let me look. Army-wise, yeah, they're fairly balanced army-wise. They've been messing up, but there hasn't been much of a confrontation except for those early RAS, and they've just been quiet, building up their strategy, getting from the mid-game into the late game. Lots of upgrades going on for Select, while DIMAGA is getting a lot of upgrades as well, including the Ventral Sacks. This is going to be interesting. He's getting his overlords ready to carry units, so he might be thinking about any kind of drop. Maybe here would be an interesting place, especially because he keeps having this overlord pooping creep here. I think he might be considering doing some kind of abuse on that ledge. And here it is, basically the bulk of DIMAGA's army. As you guys can see, there's already some infestors. Upgrades, not really. He's just getting the first ones now. Carapace, he's getting the glial reconstitution for the roaches and pneumatized carapaces. So I think he's going to invest a lot on his overlords. He's getting speed. Yeah, there it is, speeding up. He's getting the speed going, he's getting the ventral sacks. We might be going for some really cool drops, and I really enjoy drops. Seems like that, yeah, Select spreading his units, taking a look at what's going on here. A Hellion just crossing through those Zerglings. Pretty sure it's only for scouting purposes because, well, there's basically no defense. Ooh, we even pulled the Baneling there. Here goes the Baneling. Already has the Baneling speed, as you guys can see. The roly-poly is going around. Yeah, and he's gonna get killed, but he actually got some information. He saw the infestation pit, he saw the Baneling's nest, so pretty good. SCV just hanging here, and DIMAGA keeps expanding, now already on his high mineral field, so he's working out of 5 bases now. DIMAGA has been picking up bases like mad, and there's not much of an option for him, especially facing a Terran player that is macroing as well. Look at the difference, which is not that big, and keep in mind that DIMAGA is working out of 5 bases, while Select is working out of 3 bases, and he still is able to balance the income every time he puts the mules down. So pretty interesting. Another thing that I'm actually finding very interesting now that I'm actually noticing on the minimap is the creep that DIMAGA has been pooping around. Look at how many creep tumors and how good this creep highway is. Look at it, it's already close to the natural expo. And here comes big clash. I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to take off this HP bars because they're just much too big, much too confusing. Big bulk of the forces, mech force advancing for Select, and here comes DIMAGA getting his army ready as well. APM going, let's see how much APM they can pull out in a battle like this, but seems like he just wanted to pick up the Zerg Watchtower. And here comes DIMAGA trying to go for a surround. Roly-polies all around. Oh, exploding with fungal growth on top. My favorite ice cream. Beautiful there. Now big drop. Oh, Baneling drop on top of the siege tanks. Awesome. Oh, erased the complete army from Select. There's nothing left. That was just brilliant. Fungal growth with Banelings is just awesome. And now advancing into the natural expo, but there's a planetary force here. He's gonna have to be careful because he doesn't have much of a force. He busted a lot of his units onto the big confrontation on the Zerg Watchtower. He will have to pull back, and he will. But he just melted away the force from Select completely in getting more Banelings. Oh, that confrontation was just such a pain for Select and beautiful for DIMAGA. Here it is, the unit, so you guys can compare. 12 Marines, 2 Siege Tanks, Medivacs, and basically 1 Marauder, 1 Hellion. And on DIMAGA side he has a bigger army. Not sure exactly what he's considering doing now, but he's gonna advance once again. He's trying to push, and notice how well the creep has been spread. And those Select has been shooting the creep tumors. Look at this, the creep is basically at the door of his natural expo, so DIMAGA is going to benefit from it, obviously, and take all the benefits from the speed that his units are going to gain while on the creep. And okay, that was a big clash there. DIMAGA extending now another hatchery here. It's going to be his 6th base. DIMAGA is going for a huge mad macro game, and his income usually will eventually skyrocket. As you guys already saw there, he was already on 2,000, so he is with a very, very strong economy, but he isn't not leaving Select behind. Select has been balancing this, and seems like that Select is going to try some kind of drop. He's preparing 2 Medivacs here coming from the north side. Not sure exactly which base he's gonna choose, but there's also another Medivac coming from the south, so we might gonna be some kind of combined assault that will put DIMAGA into pressure. And if he's gonna make a 2 front assault, it's gonna be very hard for DIMAGA to defend. Here they come. Let's see exactly where it's going to drop. Okay, high mineral field here, and meanwhile on the back door another drop as well. This is going to be hard to follow. Here the units came to defend and just pull those Medivacs away, but meanwhile on the back door he still didn't send any defenses here, and he's killing most of the drones. Once again the Medivacs, this time on the main base. As you guys can see, they're going to drop there. Here comes drop on the main base as well, getting more upgrades, both of them, and there's already Ultralisks incoming. Oh, big fungal growth with Banelings on top. This is my favorite ice cream, I just love it, like I usually say. And he was able to fend off that assault, but meanwhile Select made a